All right. Now it's time for news, multi-platforming, and Wombat's awesome Apex Assault.
Boo-boo!
I haven't played that much Apex lately. It's
That's because you feel burned by the season pass. Or whatever
it's true. The battle pass, and also
battle
I
pass
just
made you feel bad, and now you don't want to
did.
play it anymore. You should just buy the Handsome Jack collection for $15.
No,
actually,
I'm not
no.
doing that.
You should play Operencia, and it'll make you feel better because that's something that you're not going to have to spend any extra money on because there is nothing to spend any extra money on, and it's going to be like the kind of relaxing, enjoyable experience that you're looking for.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there was an Apex update that wiped players' progress
Yes.
by accident. I haven't logged in since.
Mm.
It wouldn't matter much.
Nope.
So the big news this week, the huge news this week was the BioWare Anthem story that was on Kotaku, written by Jason Schreier.
Jason Schreier, yes.
That's how you say his last name. And boy, what a bombshell. He got in touch with, I think, 19 different people who were very familiar with the production of Anthem and with EA, and put together this huge article of basically just anecdotes from these people talking about just the mismanagement of the game production. And to the point where when I was reading this on the train when I was going to the city, and I said, oh my God, like 3 times while reading this out loud. People must have thought, I don't know what people thought, but did you guys check this out? I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah, I read it.
If you read Jason's book, it's not that surprising, but yet
No, it mirrors a lot of what's in there.
It's just the scale of it, I think. But even still, there were some EA titles in there that had some trouble. But
yeah, I mean, the main takeaway I took was that EA made the big bet on Frostbite years and years ago, and it's still causing them a lot of heartburn throughout their development.
Definitely.
So every cent they saved by not licensing a third-party engine and third-party tools, they're reaping the benefits of that from all this development that stretches out for years and years and produces products that are not universally acclaimed, I would say.
Yeah, when you read Jason's book, it's just again and again the developer. I mean, the message is clear. The engine and the tools for creating in that engine are pretty much the most important thing for successful game development. Because if that's broken, the whole game development process is going to be broken. And yeah, that seems to happen surprisingly a lot in big budget games. But man, that was just a crazy article, and
a lot of what he said was also very similar to articles about the Mass Effect Andromeda. It might have been Jason who wrote a very similar article, shortly after that game came out too. It's almost the same thing.
It's embarrassing for the executives. I mean,
it's
really
embarrassing for BioWare for sure.
I mean, not for the developers, but for the executives, for the high level people, because you read the article and these are all high level decisions that are screwing up the development, right, Chip? I mean, is that
they are at the same time? I always you're never going to get the high level executives side of the story on any of these either, though.
Right.
So there's always a reason besides the high level executives not knowing what they're doing,
which could very well be part of it.
Right. That's part of it, but they're making decisions or trying to make decisions in what they think is going to make the best game as well. So,
of course, and no one's looking to make a shitty game.
Anthem crappy, right?
Right, but it's amazing. Like, one of the things that was amazing in the article, flying. They weren't sure if flying was going to be a big part of the game or even in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what? And the demo that they made for the head of the I don't know
Of
who's
EA,
this?
the CEO of EA.
Yeah, Soderlund was just, it's nothing to do with reality. It's just that they made a demo from scratch. It wasn't made with like the game. It doesn't resemble the game in any way. And they said just like sort of EA demos are just not. It's not like a slice of the game is pulled out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You said EA demos.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
E3 demos.
E3 demos.
Yeah, it's not a
E3
slice of the
EA
game.
demos. But do you think this is really unique to just EA or?
No,
No.
It's somewhat unique to EA because they went with this in-house engine, like for everything.
Well, I was going to say, what does like Ubisoft seems to be able to churn out quality games at a really high rate, like surprisingly high. They may not be games that I want to play all the time, but people really seem to like The Division 2. The last Assassin's Creed we all think is excellent. Ghost Recon, even Rainbow Six. These are all games that have been able to, are they using the same engine? Do they have their own proprietary engine? Are they licensing an engine? How is it working for someone like them where EA, who is equal in size, if not larger, isn't able to make that work?
They use an engine called Snowdrop for some games.
I think they use different engines for different games, and they're not all internal Ubisoft engines.
And it's weird. The games that use Snowdrop, okay, The Division and The Division 2, so it's recent. But Starlink Battle for Atlas, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, Mario and Rabbids. That seems it. That's it, according to the Wikipedia.
Just curious. I mean, again, if someone is having success in that sort of infrastructure way, and you're not, to me, it just makes sense to be like, well, what is working for them, and how are they able to make it work? What is Activision using for Call of Duty and Destiny? Is it all in-house? Is it two separate engines for them? Who built those engines? Who could we steal from one of these companies to bring to our company to help us develop our own internal engine? Because that also might be cheaper than licensing. I feel like there's a better answer than we built this engine X years ago and now everyone still has to use it because, I don't know, because.
Well, that was the company decision at that time. That was the best engine.
I understand that,
and so they decided
it's the best. I understand that it's the best engine that they had, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way they had.
No, but it's the way they did go. Like, you can't go back and say that was a bad choice when they did it.
Well, they did it for
If the engine was good, it would have been a good choice.
It cut out so much cost of having to go develop all these engines across all your different teams.
But it's based on reading that article, it seemed like they knew it was a bad idea from the beginning.
Well, that's because the article was written in 2019. And you're getting input from developers, not the high-level executives that were making the decision based on dollars.
I guess.
Speaking of executives, you saw that they put out a response to the article before the article even came out.
Well, that's because
because
Jason Schreier sent them bullet points before the article came out. Yeah,
I'm sure that's the responsible thing to do. But and their response was like, we don't look to knock people down. Which
again, like that was the two sentences out of their response that people picked up on. The rest of their response was very well worded and it was fine. It was just the two sentences that specifically referenced the article and the areas of the article that were calling out people by name.
You either did something I think if you had your name mentioned in the article, it must have been demonstrably true that happened. Like so and so took a demo of the game. It probably happened.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that either. It's just it's an odd position in that I understand that video games are art and the developers are talented people and we want them to be paid money and be treated well and everything. But at the same time, they are employees of a company and they're getting paid to make the games. And then you're going behind the company's back to do this type of stuff. So it's a really weird like line to balance there.
But you have to understand, they're whistleblowers in a way. I mean, this is a public company. I think shareholders would want to know if the management is inept. I mean, this is not enough.
How's the money going for the shareholders though?
EA's been doing pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
As an EA shareholder, I think it's been doing all right. But most stocks have been doing all right. Not GameStop, maybe.
Maybe not.
Ouch.
I
hear you, Ship. You're not wrong.
I really like the article. I really like the article. Yep. I like the insights. I like the way that Jason put it together. It's just not the complete.
Of course.
It's not the complete story, and it doesn't tell why the decisions were made the way they were. And all of these people got paid to make these games.
And had mental breakdowns, some of them.
Yeah, that was
disturbing.
That was disturbing, but I don't understand what that like. That part of the article I'd like to know more about because that's that's the area is like, wait, what does that mean?
Well, think about it, Chip. If you're working on a big project, okay, and it's consuming your life, basically, more or less.
I've been
more
there.
or less, but you're not really sure what the project is. And to the point where, like, someone said to you, like in your line of work, okay, we're making some sort of like military vehicle. We're not sure if it should fly or not. And you're working on it like 12 hours a day.
No, I get the frustration.
I mean, they'd be like, poo poo, what? And I agree. I totally agree with what you're saying about, they're throwing the executives under the bus, but God damn. I mean, I'm glad.
That's their job too, though. Executives are there to get.
Yep, they're accountable. There's a reason why they're making a lot of money, and it's
right. Exactly.
It's not going to be all sunshine and roses. And like you mentioned when we were discussing the article, I just wanted to say that I like Jason's style and how he doesn't really editorialize a lot. It's just here's what these guys said to me, and
he doesn't do that in the articles, but like on Twitter, he definitely gives his opinion there, which I think is the right way. I was
going to say it's his Twitter; he can say whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's he's handling it exactly like as a professional would.
And how uncomfortable for Jason when he goes to gaming events and there are these guys around. I mean, it's not that big of an industry. You go to E3, you're going to run in the people who you don't want to run into. Are you guaranteed you're going to run into them? I mean, but he's doing good work. You can't. I mean, it's controversial, but
good work.
It's good work. I'm glad. I mean, we've learned a lot about the video game industry through people like Jason. I mean, things that we really didn't know. It's amazing. And like I said before, when I read his book, like it's amazing these games get made. It's fucking amazing. They come out, you read these things and you're like, wow, a game comes out at the end somehow.
And all of them are actually pretty okay.
Right.
Like everything that comes out is like, all right. This is a playable
that's
video
why
game.
That's why you only see these articles come out about the games that do badly. Although I guess not necessarily. Red Dead Redemption 2 had an article also. About those conditions, and that game came out well, but
did it?
I mean, it came out well in the sense that people bought it and it made a lot of money. And when I criticized it online, I got like 300 people tell me why I was an idiot. So yeah,
I think you could criticize it right now and you'd get crickets.
Yeah, because I was right, but that doesn't matter. I criticized it at the time.
Right, as the only person who finished it, I am allowed to criticize
on the earth,
it.
on the earth.
You know what it needs? It needs an easy mode.
No, it probably had one, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't care either.
Right. What a dumb discussion.
I can't believe people are still talking about that online too.
Yeah, I hope everything gets better for everyone involved over at EA.
Especially me, the stockholder.
Right. That's primarily what I meant.
Yeah, I was telling the story to Mrs. Cheapy. I was giving her the summary of the article. I just couldn't believe it. Wow.
Yeah. But some of the article, like, it made perfect sense. Like, where they were complaining that they weren't getting the resources they needed on Frostbite, like the expert advice.
Yeah.
And it's like, because those resources were being focused on FIFA.
Right.
And it's like,
that's what they needed.
Yes, exactly. If I'm in charge of EA, I'm going, FIFA, anybody, if FIFA comes with a problem, that is your number one priority.
Right. We're going to make $1 billion in microtransactions.
Correct.
On this game.
Like,
I think we can move the team over.
Yeah. That is 100% the right move at EA. If you are like making decisions at EA, that is a no-brainer there. Sucks
but
if you're working on Anthem.
If you're working on Anthem and you don't have what you need, do they push back that release date? Or I guess but that was the other issue, is that they refused to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's the risk involved. Like, there's risks that you're willing to take when you're in the business world. It's Thank you, Lou Dobbs. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, you see these articles and people that, like, they get all upset about it and they don't think about, like, the business aspects that are involved with these decisions. They just see it as, like,
well, the question is, are they going to lose more money on Anthem than they make? Are they going to lose more money on Anthem than they make?
I don't know.
Depends if they can turn it around. I mean, as we learned in the article, they really basically decided they were going to push it out the door and fix it later. As games as a service, it doesn't seem that unreasonable, but it was
the lean business model.
Games as a service only works if you have an audience. So if you release a game that's too broken and you lose your audience, then you don't have a game as a service. Yep. You just have a nothing.
It wasn't a good plan. I didn't say it was a good plan, but that was their plan. And in fact, didn't it say that they put out the wrong version of the game? And it had to get patched or something. They put out an old build.
Well, it got like a 50 or 60 gig update like day one.
No, but I thought, maybe the reviewers got the wrong version. Maybe. Someone's got the wrong version.
Could have happened.
Anyway, that's enough about Anthem.
This is the version where you couldn't fly.
That was oh my god.
How long until this is on EA Access? That's the real question.
Well, then that's why be where they make the money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll make once that's on EA Access, then it might get its audience back. I mean, at least from one console.
It's coming to isn't it coming to PlayStation, or that's just rumored? The EA Access.
Oh, I don't know. I believe you if you say it is. I believe you. I have no reason not to believe you.
Maybe GameStop will sell some used copies of it.
Oh, poor GameStop. They're not selling as many used games anymore. They lost a lot of money last year.